The Children's Bible, Exodus 19 through 31, the Ten Commandments. In the 3rd month after the children of Israel had left Egypt, they came into the desert of Sinai. They pitched their tents in the wilderness and camped there before the mountain. And Moses went up to talk to the Lord. And God called to him from the mountain, saying, "Say to the children of Israel, You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and how I carried you on eagle's wings, and brought you to myself. Now if you will obey my voice and keep your agreement with me, then you shall be a special treasure to me, more than any other people. You shall be a kingdom of priests to me and a holy nation. These are the words you shall speak to the children of Israel." So Moses came down and called for the elders of the people, and laid before them all the words of the Lord. And the people answered together and said, "All that the Lord has spoken we will do." Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. And Moses was pleased, and spoke to Moses, saying, "Lo, I will come to you in a thick cloud, so that the people may hear when I speak to you and believe you forever. Now go to the people and bless them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready for the 3rd day. For the 3rd day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. You shall set bounds for the people, and warn them to take care not to go up on the mountain, or touch the side of it, for whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. Anyone who does touch it shall be stoned or shot, whether it be beast or man. And when the trumpet sounds a long blast, they shall come up to the mountain." Moses went down from the mountain to the people, and he blessed them. And they washed their clothes, and he said to them, "Be ready for the 3rd day." When the 3rd day came, in the morning there was thunder and lightning, and a thick cloud lay upon the mountain. Then the voice of a trumpet sounded so loud that all the people in the camp trembled. And Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke rose up like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled and shook. Then the voice of a trumpet sounded long blasts, and grew louder and louder. Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. Then the Lord came down upon the top of Mount Sinai, and he called Moses up to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. And God spoke all these words, saying, "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods than me. You shall not make any sculptured image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the offspring of those who hate me, and showing mercy to thousands of those that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not use the name of the Lord your God carelessly. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you nor any member of your family and household, nor any person living with you. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the 7th day, and made it holy. Respect your father and your mother, so that your days may be many in the land the Lord your God gives to you. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not wrongly accuse your neighbor. You shall not envy your neighbor, nor desire to have his house, his wife, his servants, his animals, nor anything that is his. All the people saw the thunder and lightning, and heard the noise of the trumpet, and saw the mountain smoke. And when they did so, they moved back and stood at a distance. And they said to Moses, "Speak to us, and we will listen. But please do not let God speak to us, for we fear that we may die." And Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, for God has come to test you, so that you may learn to have respect for him, so that you may do no wrong." The people stood far off, while Moses drew near to the thick darkness where the Lord was. And God spoke to Moses, and gave him laws to govern the tribes of Israel in all their acts. And among the laws that were given were the following: Anyone who strikes another man and kills him must himself be put to death. Anyone who strikes his father or his mother shall be put to death. Anyone who kidnaps another and sells him or keeps him as a slave shall be put to death. Anyone who curses his father or his mother shall be put to death. Life shall be given for life, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, burning for burning, a wound for a wound. But if a thief is killed by a person who attacks him in the place of stealing, that person shall not be punished for murder. If an ox gores a man or a woman, and they die, then the ox shall be stoned, and he shall not be eaten. But the owner of the ox shall not be charged. But if the ox was accustomed to push with his horn in times past, and it had been made known to the owner, and he has not kept him in, then the ox shall be stoned, and the owner also shall be put to death. If a man steals an ox or a sheep, and kills it, or sells it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If the animal is found in his hand alive, whether it is ox, or donkey, or sheep, he shall restore double. Any man who worships any god other than the Lord shall be destroyed. You shall deal kindly with strangers, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall care for the widow and the fatherless child. If you hurt them, and they cry to the Lord, their cry shall be heard. The Lord's anger shall be great, and he will cause your own death, so that your wives shall be widows and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor, you shall not take interest on the sum owed to you. You shall obey without complaint the ruler and the judges of the people. Moses came down and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all his laws. And the people said, "Everything the Lord has said we will do." And Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord, and he arose early in the morning, and built an altar to the Lord, with 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel, and he sacrificed to the Lord. Then Moses and Aaron and 70 of the elders of Israel rose up, and they saw the Lord of Israel. And God said to Moses, "Come up to me in the mountain, and I will give you tablets of stone with the law and the commandments which I have written, so that you may teach them." Moses and his minister Joshua rose up. And before he went into the mountain of God, Moses said to the elders, "Wait here for us. Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man has any dispute to settle, let him go to them." When Moses went to the mountain, a cloud covered it. The glory of the Lord was over Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day God called to Moses from the cloud, and the sight of the glory of the Lord was like a raging fire on the top of the mountain to the eyes of the children of Israel. Moses went into the cloud and up the mountain, and he was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. And God spoke to Moses, saying, "Tell the people of Israel to bring me offerings. From every man who gives willingly with his heart you shall take the offering. And this is what you shall receive from them: gold, silver, and brass, clothes of purple, clothes of blue, clothes of scarlet, fine linen, goat's hair, ram skins dyed red, badger skins, and acacia wood, oil for lighting, spices for anointing, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and other jewels. And let them make me a sanctuary, so that I may live among them. They shall make it according to all that I tell you. They shall make me an ark of acacia wood. It shall be a chest 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, 2 feet high, and it is to be covered with gold, both inside and out. It shall have a gold band around it. At each corner it shall have a gold ring, and through these rings shall be passed gold-covered rods of acacia wood, so that the ark may be carried. These rods shall remain in the rings of the ark, and shall not be taken from it. And they shall put in the ark the laws that I give you. And they shall make also a mercy seat, a throne of pure gold, 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. At each end of the mercy seat there shall be the figure of an angel in beaten gold. And the angels shall stretch their wings upward, covering the mercy seat with them. Their faces shall look to one another, and shall be inclined slightly downward. And the mercy seat shall be put upon the ark, and in the ark shall be put the law and the commandments that I shall give you. And there I will meet with you and speak to you from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 angels upon the ark. And they shall make a table of acacia wood, and cover it with gold, and put a gold band around it, with gold rings at each corner. And gold-covered rods of acacia wood shall be passed through the rings, so the table may be carried. And they shall make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. Its shaft and its branches, its boles and its flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches out of one side, and 3 out of the other side. It shall all be one beaten work of pure gold. And there shall be 7 lamps like this, and the tongs and the snuffers thereof shall be of pure gold. See that they are made after the pattern showed on the mountain. And they shall make a tabernacle, a tent lined with fine linen, with blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, and covered with goat's hair, ram skins dyed red, and badger skins. And the ark of the testimony, with the mercy seat upon it, shall be kept in the tabernacle, and covered with a veil, a curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet cloth. In front of the veil shall be kept the table. On the table shall be set showbread. 12 loaves of sacred bread shall be set there every Sabbath, to be eaten by the priests. And the people of Israel shall make an altar, and set it up before the tabernacle. Take Aaron your brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister to me in the priest's office. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and for beauty. You shall speak to all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron's garments to consecrate him. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, an embroidered coat, a turban, and a girdle. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, of purple, of scarlet, and of fine twined linen, with skillful work. And they shall make for the breastplate chains of pure gold. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goes into the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. And they shall make the robe all of blue, and beneath, on the hem of it, you shall make pomegranates of blue, and purple, and scarlet, with bells of gold between them. Aaron shall wear these garments when he ministers, so that his sound may be heard both when he goes in to worship before the Lord, and when he comes out. And you shall make a plate of pure gold, and engrave upon it, in the manner of a signet, holiness to the Lord. You shall put it on the front of the turban, and it shall be attached with a lace of blue. This plate shall be at all times upon Aaron's forehead as a token of his ministry, in order that the holy offerings of the people of Israel may be acceptable before the Lord. Aaron and his sons shall be anointed with oil, and shall be made priests, so that they make sacrifices to me for the people. And for the sacrifice you shall take 1 young bullock, and 2 lambs without blemish, unleavened bread, unleavened cakes tempered with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil. You shall make them of wheat flour, and place them in a basket, bringing it with the bullock and the 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and wash them with water. All these things shall be possible, because I have given you men of skill and intelligence, whom I have filled with the Spirit of God. These men are craftsmen of great experience and understanding. They are able to work in gold, silver, and brass, to cut and set stones, and to carve timber. They have the talent to make all that I have commanded, whether the tabernacle of the congregation, the ark of the testimony, or the mercy seat upon it. Speak to the people of Israel, and say, You shall keep my Sabbaths as a sign between me and you through all generations. 6 days may work be done, but on the 7th is a day of rest, holy to the Lord. For having made heaven and earth in 6 days, the Lord rested on the 7th. And when God had finished speaking to Moses upon Mount Sinai, he gave him 2 tablets of stone, the tablets of the law and commandments, written by the hand of the Lord.